Hi, we're here on the trade floor of the ITEXPO Austin 2012 convention. Glad you could join us. I'm Peter Bernstein, Senior Editor for TMCnet, and I'm joined today by Travis Sales, who's the CIO of Breakthrough Technology Group. And Travis, your company does a lot of things, so I'm not even going to try and I'm going to let you explain where you sit in the value chain of managed services and
Sure.
and talk about what you're seeing in the marketplace. So,
Sure. Really what Breakthrough is a managed service provider, but more importantly, it's a microservice provider. And the definition of what a
yes,
service...
please enlighten me.
Yeah, and what the definition of a microservice provider really is, it's about providing custom cloud solutions for customers as opposed to providing more of that sort of collective a la carte menu that you see out there, right? With public cloud providers or even some of the larger MSPs that will give you a prepackaged, choose number one and you get these things, choose number two and you get these things. What we really find is that in the industry is that customers don't want that. They don't want somebody to dictate to them what they need because themselves have very specific requirements. So what BTG has done is created a very elastic solution offering where we can go in and customize what the customer needs from a solutions perspective and then deliver it to them. So it's tailor-made.
So I'm going to stop you right there, which is how many of your customers actually know what they need?
At the beginning,
Yeah,
pretty much zero.
pretty much zero.
Which is really the challenge because, and which is why a lot of what I would call the big box MSP providers out there don't really understand is that when a customer hears the term cloud, they don't know what it means. When they hear the platform as a service or infrastructure as a service, what they want to hear is, I have this problem. I have these users, I have this data center, I have these applications, and I need to be able to manipulate or handle these for my business this way. And when they go to a provider, they actually want somebody who's going to sit there and say, okay, I understand that because I understand your vertical, number one, but I'm also going to be able to tailor the solution in a way that's elastic for you so that you can sort of move with it and not just find yourself boxed into this offering, let's say at this price with these services. Because, it may not have everything. It's sort of like buying a car, right?
Right.
It comes with a lot of features depending on the model, but are you going to really use all those? Probably not, but if you could go in and say, I just want these things for my need, then you actually get what you're looking for. And then that helps them understand what that offering gives them.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to ask you a question that I have talked to a bunch of CIOs, customers, not people in your position, in the last couple of weeks, and I say the word cloud, and the instant reaction of the large enterprise CIOs is, that's a dirty word in my company. How do you react to that?
Well, it goes without saying that the term itself is sort of without true definition, because in everybody's mind it means something else. I think it's a dirty word from a lot of CIOs in the enterprise simply because they think it's the public cloud. They think cloud represents something that they would have to go move their applications and services into that they don't have control over. And CIOs are about control, and they're about delivering what they need to do. So they look at it and they go, "Oh, I'm not too sure that that's what I want."
So that's a really interesting point you just made, because in your practice, in your services, there's a real difference in my mind between ownership and control, right?
Right.
They used to be the same.
Yeah.
They used to be the same, and the difference that the cloud era, for lack of a better term, has meant is for guys like your company, the offer is that you can give up ownership without giving up control, right? Is that a good way to look at it?
In a way, I think really what we try to relay to customers is that what they need is a set of resources, right? When you say give up control versus give up ownership, what we're really offering is the ability for a customer to say, you know what, I don't want to have to manage hardware, networking, bandwidth, certain aspects of security, not all security, but I don't want to have to be in that business anymore, because that's not what my company needs. My company needs these applications or these services for them to do their job, right? Whether you're building oil rigs or you're running a hospital, getting into the game of having to manage all the other stuff underneath the covers is what they want to avoid. So when we talk to them, we say, listen, the cloud or the public offerings that are out there are taking away not only that, but they're also taking away a lot of your control. What we want to provide is the ability just to take away the burdensome part of everything, but yet still allow them to build out exactly what they need. And more importantly, give them the level of control that they expect. So when I was talking about security a second ago, you need to provide a security apparatus, but you also need to provide it to a point. Because after that, a customer, from compliancy reasons, or maybe even their own paranoia, which I've actually seen, they need to be able to control certain aspects of their environment all the way out into a managed offering, just like they would locally. And that's where providing that custom solution versus a public solution makes the difference, and why more enterprise environments, when they look at cloud or they look at managed service offerings, are looking for what that can be tailored to their needs, as opposed to trying to go out there and buy a big box, essentially.
So give me a quick forecast for the next couple of months. Cloudy skies, or?
Well, I think what you're really starting to see is the reality set in. I mean, we always talk about IT needing to do more with less, right? I mean, that's an old phrase that's been used and abused.
But we're past the cost considerations now, aren't we? Now we're talking about functionality. More so.
No, I really don't think we're past the cost considerations. I think that when CIOs are looking at their budgets, what they're faced with is the problem that the users in the business themselves are faced with this consumerization, if you would. Right. The idea that users are more savvy and they're expecting to consume the resources the way they do at home. And because of that, they have this ever-changing environment. Well, with that ever-changing environment comes an ever-changing cost structure.
Right.
And that's why I think a lot of them are looking toward MSPs to say, what can you give me, but what can you also provide that makes it elastic, so as technology changes, not based on the industry, but based on my user base, you're going to be able to accommodate that, whether it's data virtualization, app virtualization, things like that. So I think the future is good, but I also think that you're going to see more enterprises wanting to move to private environments that provide that level of service, as opposed to either them trying to figure it out for themselves or trying to go to some large sort of service offering.
So that's a wonderful discussion for the next time we have you back, because I would love to pick up on the private versus multi-tenant situation, and all the issues of compliance. But with that said, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
And have a great show.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.